Hello viewers at home, welcome to Global Culture. My name is Akinwale Ojomo. I'm actually welcoming a fine gentleman right here today. We're going to be talking about the impact of diaspora in development. He's an individual from the United States Agency for International Development. So what a perfect gentleman to really come and talk about this. Mr. Jeff Jackson, welcome to this show.
Akinwale, thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here and thank you for the invitation. Just by way of introduction, my name is Jeffrey Jackson. I'm with the Africa Bureau of the U.S. Agency for International Development. And one thing I'd like to do is get a plug-in for a very significant activity that's going on right now. It's called Frontiers in Development.
Right.
This is an activity, it's actually a forum.
Okay.
It's a 3-day forum. It started yesterday.
Right. That is June
11th, 12th, and 13th,
Right.
being hosted at Georgetown University.
Right.
It's essentially a forum bringing together a lot of the wide range of practitioners in economic development. It crosses the spectrum of a lot of people, such as Bill Gates, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf from Liberia is one of the speakers, and many people have been sort of on the cutting edge of some of the innovation in economic development. So they're coming together. The topics on the conference was actually spawned from an essay competition. I think there were 40 essays, and these can be found on USAID's website should you have the desire to sort of delve deeply into some of the topics.
Right.
But you know, there's been over the years there's been a lot of changes in the way we think about development.
Right.
So, you know, what we're doing is sort of compiling and talking and sort of sharing information and ideas, as well as how things were, say, in the 60s, 70s, how they've progressed, and what new technologies, methodologies, and processes we're looking at now. I mean, USAID today is not the same USAID that it was, say, 30 years ago.
And that's the major reason we are actually bringing you to see the new innovations. And you talk about the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation.
Right.
I know there has been a supporter of this Frontier in Development Conference.
Right.
So tell us, since you are actually, viewers at home, just to let you know, like you mentioned, is the actually senior advisor for the African Bureau, which is focused on the continent of Africa.
Yes.
Can you share with us what are the focus in terms of maybe healthcare technology? What is the new frontier of development in Africa?
Well, let me just sort of give you the structure of how we are at USAID. Now, USAID, I'm with the Office of Sustainable Development.
Okay.
There's several components. Specifically, I'm with the Office of Economic Growth, Environment, and Agriculture.
Okay.
We also have offices of health and education.
Okay.
And we're sort of, you know, there's a lot of cross-cutting issues there, and we work very well together as a team.
Right.
One thing that I do in particular is work on the economic growth side and try to bring in the relationship between government and private sector. We realize that there's so much that the private sector has to offer. I mean, foreign aid is not just the way it used to be: build a dam, build a road, build a hospital. That's no longer the method that is done. So we realize that we need to involve the private sector in a lot of things, almost everything that we do. A lot of what we do now, for example, is carried out by private companies under contract to USAID. But we really realize that the resources and knowledge that reside in the private sector are things that we need to leverage. We have one particular way to do that, and it's through a very unique type of public-private partnership called a Global Development Alliance.
Okay.
And for example, the work we're doing, work that I'm actually working on with the diaspora, is by way of a Global Development Alliance, what we call GDA, with Western Union.
Western Union, okay.
And a lot of your listeners, or I'm sorry, your viewers, I've done a lot of radio, may be aware of an activity that's coming up called the African Diaspora Marketplace.
Absolutely.
That has been going on. We launched it, the second one, actually, in November of last year.
Right.
And the plan, or the winners actually of this competition will be announced on the 23rd of this month.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
On the 22nd at George Washington University, there will be an open forum and marketplace where there would be about 44 companies from several, I don't know the exact number of countries, but 15 or 20 countries. Wow. That will be exhibiting their product, their service, the business venture that they're proposing. So
right.
This was a competition.
Business plan competition.
Business plan competition.
Right.
And the people were competing for a $50,000 cash grant, right. A chance at either technical assistance or mentorship, which is sort of folded in with that, sort of bolted onto that. Right. And then subsequently, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, which is also one of the partners, I should say, right, okay. Will bring them to Lagos. Oh, wow, okay. To evaluate some of the higher performing ones for an equity injection. If I can
come in right here, maybe Global Culture will be able to bring that to our viewers at home, because it's good that you're talking about that. And some of those dates, viewers at home will be able to list them on the website. I'm not sure if it's a public or event, to be able to make sure that viewers at home can be part of that. So if I may have you continue on that line of thought, we're talking about the African diaspora marketplace, right, which is focused on the African diaspora. You know, from your standpoint, how long have you been able to work with the African diaspora in terms of, you know, projects and making sure they are a catalyst for economic development?
Well, this is actually the second diaspora marketplace. Okay. The first was a pilot. It started in 2009. There were 14 winners announced in January of 2010. Right. And we looked at that and said, you know, it can't be done just once. There was so much enthusiasm. Wow, okay. And we felt there's a lot of pent-up demand for this. Right, right. So we elected to do it a second time. Okay, wonderful. The first one was pretty well open in terms of any type of business concept. Right. I mean, there were some rules and some restrictions, but this time we restricted it to agribusiness, ICT, and renewable energy. Okay, ICT meaning information, communication, and technology. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, I should have spelled that. But yeah, these are priority interests of USAID, and we feel that these are some of the really cutting-edge things that are being done. As it turned out, the majority of the proposals we got in the first one were for agribusiness. Oh, wow, okay. Wonderful. So, and this is one of the, with our Feed the Future initiative at USAID, actually it's a whole of government initiative, right. We felt that we really needed to tap into that because there's so much innovation going on from, let's say, from farm to fork, but in that transformative stage in the middle, right. That there's lots of energy, lots of ideas, right. And we really wanted to tap into that and to see whether we can get this, you know, moving in Africa. Right. We want to, you know, basically spur innovation. Right, great. Innovation is very key in transforming what we have, the resources we have in Africa right now. And I think I'm an apostle of the African diaspora. And tell our viewers at home, if you may, Mr. Jackson, about some of the challenges. What happens after the ADM, the African Diaspora Marketplace #2? Is that going to be something we have to look forward to in the future, or what is the future for that project? Well, we really can't say. I mean, obviously, you know, we have to see the results of this one. But I would say that there's a likelihood of some form of this being carried forward. Okay. If USAID is not involved, I obviously cannot speak for future funding. Right. But the Western Union has an interest because, I mean, they are the leading, putting a plug in for our partners. They get so much money from us, right? Well, they do. I mean, send money home. They are the premier company for remittances globally, actually. And they're doing a lot of cutting edge things. I mean, people don't really know that they do a lot of work in business payments. Right, right. They're now helping with some of the mobile networks. They were some of the first people to be able to transfer money via mobile devices across borders. So these are some of the things that USAID is actually really supportive of, because that, you know, we here in the U.S. think about smartphones and all these apps, but the app that's key to Africa is essentially SMS and texting to get information. So that, I mean, just the amount of information and the types of platforms that are being built on just the old, you know, forget 4G, we're talking earlier G. So that I mean, to transfer money. So these kind of things, M-Pesa in Kenya is the sort of the gold standard now. But there are other systems, other mobile systems, other payment systems via mobile. Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Mr. Jackson, we're going to be bringing you more back because this is key to us, and we do this special diaspora dialogue. You know, to have concrete topics and talk about them and how
your agency, United States Agency for International Development, and some private sector as well, some even NGOs, the non-government organization as well. So we're going to move forward quickly in terms of the challenges faced by this in your course of doing this. What has been the engagement, the tool for engaging us, when I mean us, the African diaspora, in being part of this?
Well, first of all, we have done a bit of research to find out where the diaspora is.
Okay. That's important, right?
This year, or started in November, we did a roadshow.
Okay.
And one of our partners was the Constituency for Africa.
Okay.
We planned a roadshow. It was Houston, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and finally Washington,
right.
where we thought that there were big communities, and they were well attended.
Okay.
At least 100, 150 in each city.
Okay.
So and some people are representing other groups.
Right.
So we found that there's a tremendous amount of groups and associations. There's the African Chamber of Commerce of Seattle.
Right.
You know, I mean, we ran across. So we're now compiling that database, and we're in touch with a lot of the groups around the country.
Okay.
So knowing that, and is to find out what their interests are, what their skill set is. I mean, the African diaspora tends to be fairly high income, and from where your country is,
you mean my country, Nigeria, right?
Nigeria has, in terms of U.S. Census data, of all the diaspora in the U.S., the highest income.
Absolutely.
The highest family income of all. So it's higher than the average U.S. family income.
And just to pitch this in, actually, we at Global Culture Media, we have a project that is coming up, and that your office will be made known about this. We are going to have a documentary called Diaspora 100. We're going to focus on some of the challenges you have, some of the success stories as well. So it's kind of our way to really helping you out to tell the world about the good stories that development has been doing in the next couple of years. So now USAID is 50 years old. So to our viewers at home, so what's your message to them for the next developmental tool?
Well, I think if I can just get back to your other question for a second, give us another plug. We have another partnership called the Diaspora Networks Alliance.
Okay.
Where we are focusing on, well, I'm working on the entrepreneurship side.
Okay, wonderful.
We also look at volunteerism, nostalgic trade, diaspora philanthropy. So we're looking at engaging with a broad spectrum of partners. So this is a platform that we've set up. It's not in the Africa, but it's in a different section of USAID. But this is something that we're going to be working on, for quite some time. We realize that the number of people, the transfer of knowledge, transfer of information, transfer of remittances is very key.
Key, right?
It's very key. But we want to understand how remittances are being used, how they can be channeled differently.
Right.
India has an India Corps, for example, to take people of Indian extraction back to India, so like a Peace Corps kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So there's so many various aspects that we can do. So we're looking at that as a way to channel and really build up the resources. I mean, the amount of money transferred, this is globally, exceeds by a factor of 3 the amount of official development assistance provided by the U.S. government.
Wow.
So,
and I'm very happy you said that, because we're really out of time right now. I wish we have, like I said, we're going to be bringing you more more of you to see, more of this, more specific things, in the future. And thank you so much, Mr. Jackson, for coming in today. And hopefully, I wish you the best with the new frontier in development, and especially the engagement of the African diaspora in helping you do your job and making sure that Africa in the next 50 years, viewers at home, I can guarantee you, is going to be a different, in the innovation technology and even in the media technology as well. We are actually on Facebook at Global Culture, so check us out. This program is being watched all across the world. So I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you for watching us, and we'll see you shortly. Don't go away.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey Jackson, a senior advisor with the U.S. Agency for International Development, and you're watching Global Culture.
Hello viewers at home, welcome back to Global Culture, to the continuation of your segment on the diaspora in 21st century development. Earlier on, we brought somebody who's from the United States Agency for International Development. Right now, that is focused on Africa diaspora. Now we're bringing somebody who is actually an African diaspora himself. Femi, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Akinwale. I'm thrilled to be here.
All right, great. Femi actually is CEO. Tell our viewers at home your full name, as a matter of fact, and your company, your organization.
Well, for my viewers back at home, my name is Femi Ogunjimi, and people call me GFM. That's my nickname, and I'm the CEO of GFM Talk Show. I'm the host of that, and my show comes on every Thursday, every week.
Okay, and we're going to be having much of that information on that. He's an African diaspora, and he's been doing some wonderful things. Today, we're going to be talking about the media impact on African diaspora and development in different regions. So today, how has been your engagement in sharing this good news, telling our story, so to speak?
Well, I began my talk show a couple years ago, just a little bit over 2 years, and started talking about issues that affect us individually, either relationships, education, politics, finances, and I did that for a couple of years, and later on I just felt that there are more issues than that, than individual. We have to be connected to the other medias that are, showing case of things that affect people like us in the diaspora. So a couple of months ago, I partnered with the Root DC.
Okay.
And
that's one of the subsidiary of Washington DC Post.
Absolutely. And I partnered with them and just wanted to share our news, our stories.
Our story, right?
And the way it's supposed to be told.
Right.
And they agreed to it.
Okay.
And the first issues that I gave to them was there was a lady. She works with like different organizations in different countries, and she supplies like medical aid for people. And I wanted to just showcase that to the people, to let people know these are some positive things that we are doing for our people back at home. Right.
And by the way, who she's talking about is Dr. Jagun. Actually,
Absolutely.
Who is the CEO of a new African Mission program. And of course, we had her on our show before. If you look at our past episode, you'll be able to see a great interview. And she had a great event, as a matter of fact. So now, that's part of the African diaspora philanthropy.
Yes.
So how do you see that? How much are we able to do as the media to make sure that we tell our the story, the good story, in a positive light?
You see, when we look at the media, we are very important. We are like the conduit to just get the information out to the people.
Right.
And we are very key to that.
Right.
And people need us to deliver the right information.
Right.
So we have to do our best to make sure we go out there and get the right information to people.
Right.
And we got to make sure that we oversee what's been going on. There has to be a watchdog to say, you know what, whatever this media is doing is wrong. Right. Whatever that media is doing is the right thing. Because we want to help the people. Right? There has to be checks and balances. Right. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to just have a good rapport with other medias out there, just to make sure that we are doing the right thing and we are, keeping each other in check.
Talking about that, that's the reason I'm bringing you here today.
Thank you.
So that way, I hope I will have an invitation to to come on your show as well.
Absolutely.
And we are challenging all the different media organizations, African diaspora focused, to let's interact with more of each other. So that way, we'll be able to have checks and balances and have an umbrella. Like I was talking to a gentleman that there has to be an African press corps that will be covering most of the huge events in the United States Congress, in the White House, and the rest of them. So what's your message for the people out there on where we are wrapping up? What's your message for the people out there?
Well, I want people to know that GFM Talk Show, Global Culture, and the rest of the media out there, we are here for you to provide the right information. We are here for you to support you whatever you need us for. I mean, if there's any issues that you want us to cover, we are there, and we are working with the media in America to make sure that we have a joint effort and to showcase and promote the right information and tell our stories the right way that it should have been told.
I like that. I like that. Tell our story the right way it needs to be told. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you for coming in today, and we're going to be having more of you because this Diaspora Dialogue is an interval program focusing on special, interest and special area topics that we can share with our members at home. So we thank you so much for
the
knowledge and sharing that with them. So viewers at home, we've come to the end of this segment of Diaspora Dialogue. I'm going to be having Cindy come and talk to you about the art and entertainment. You must have missed Cindy. She's been away in New York on a project. So don't go away. Be right back.
Hi viewers, my name is Femi Ogujimi from GFM Talk Show, and I'm on Global Culture. Keep your eyes, stay tuned to Global Culture every day.
Hi viewers at home, welcome back to another segment of Arts and Entertainment. I have one amazing recording artist with us today. His name is Ty Slums.
That's right.
Welcome to the show, Ty.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful.
So for our viewers at home, who some of them are fans, some of them who may not have heard of you yet, tell us who you are, tell us a little bit about what kind of music you do and stuff.
As you know, I'm a recording artist. My name is Ty Slums. I'm from Washington, D.C., born and raised, and I run a record label called Career Crooks Records.
Okay.
So we got a few artists. There's three of us, not including myself, and we're working with Blackbird Music. It's a subsidiary of Sony.
Okay.
So we're working on a few mixtapes and things like that, and I've been on my grind in the area for about 7-8 years strong. So
that's long. That's how long you've been doing music, or that's how long you've been doing it like as a profession?
As a profession, I would say. I've been doing music since I was about 11, 12 years old.
Oh,
so,
you started young.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So why did you choose? Because I know you do a little bit of rap, hip hop, do a little bit of singing. Why did you choose this genre?
Well, you know, I was really inspired by Nas as I was growing up. You know, just the swag. A lot of people don't know that, you know, rap is just, you know, that's the musical element of hip hop. Hip hop is a culture in general, and I was inspired by the entire culture. That's, you know, DJing and breakdancing, graffiti, fashion, and then the music, of course. So it's a lot of facets involved in hip hop, and I was inspired by all of it as a whole.
So you dabble in all of it?
I do a little breakdancing, you know, from time to time.
So did you have any mentors as you were coming along?
Well, I have a mentor. His name is Greg Baker, and you know he has a long resume. He's a music mogul in my eyes. He's done work with Sony, DreamWorks, and Def Jam. He was instrumental in bringing out B2K and a lot of major artists. So he's been guiding me career-wise for a long time now.
Okay. So you have Nigerian roots.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Shout out Nigeria, green and white.
How has that impacted your career, if at all?
Well, it gave me a broader horizon. You know, I grew up listening to also a lot of Nigerian music in my household, and it gave me a greater appreciation for all musical genres.
Yeah.
And so I feel like my sound is a little more diverse than it would have been if I didn't have those roots.
Who were some of your favorite artists?
In the Nigerian community,
or if you have a favorite song?
Sunny Ade was pretty dope. There's Femi, Ransom Kuti, and he has a son. Well, it's Fela, and then he has a son named Femi, and he has a song called Gentleman, which is a dope record that I grew up listening to.
So let me talk a little bit about your mixtape, your first mixtape.
Right.
Welcome to the Slums. How did that come about?
Well, Welcome to Slums was a dope mixtape. I was, you know, I was in the clubs really heavy in DC, and every time I would show up and, you know, buy a table and shut down the club, all the promoters and DJs would tweet, you know, "Welcome to the Slums." For anyone who hadn't seen my my club escapades, they would tweet that, and everyone would retweet it, and it just kind of caught on, and we named the mixtape after that. So.
Okay, because you know, I read somewhere that for a while you were like anti-mixtape.
Absolutely. I felt like mixtapes was like a really oversaturated market, and it really wasn't my lane. I prefer to just do like original music, singles, and recording an actual album. So, you know.
Okay, and so you're working on a new mixtape, and what can we expect from that one?
The No Plan B mixtape is really dope. It's inspirational. It's really high energy. And I think it's going to be a game changer for like my entire team and for this area in general.
So, okay, what sets you apart from the rest of the artists that are out here?
I feel like I'm a more complete artist because of all the different types of music that I listen to. And I feel like that I could touch on a lot of topics, and I have a lot of diversity when it comes to my music. So, you know, I feel like that's what sets me apart.
Okay, so you're going to prove that for us today with a performance?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, we'll do something today. We'll do something. We'll get into something.
Okay, well, he's going to perform one of my favorites. It's You, and he also has one of his other recording artists here with him, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for coming, Ty. We ran out of time. I wish we could talk forever.
Absolutely. I enjoyed my time here.
Well, thanks for coming. And thank you for tuning in at home. This has been another segment of Global Culture, and my name is Cindy, and I've been your host.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Ty Slums, and you're now tuned in to Global Culture. Say that. Yeah. Career crooks.
My whole life I've been looking for the right one, and I could swear that I never was gonna find one. And then you came around and you put it down, and that's when I knew that girl has been found. Cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you.
Even though I know I like them all, I know I can't wipe them all. So baby, make a move. It's harder for me to fight them off. Groupies blowing kisses, it's nothing for me to wipe them off. Get comfy in that designer love. I'm getting shine, get money, and then I'm signing off. I mean, I'm logging off, so then we signing in. And when the road to riches end, that's where I come in. Then we clear in the lair, that mean we flying in. See, when you adding paper, that mean you adding haters. Show you how to minus them. I let the dice roll, you know I know how to win. Slizzy getting busy on my grizzly like I'm Iverson. I got him diving in with no swimwear and the water warm. You can tell she ain't been there. Stamps in her passport. If you know what to spend it on, it you ain't gotta ask for.
My whole life I've been looking for the right one, and I could swear that I never was gonna find one. And then you came around and you put it down, and that's when I knew that girl has been found. Cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, 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 cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you.
Say that's my little mama, yeah, that's my ride that she rockin' with a G, so you know she stays fly like Gucci, Chanel. I keep her in red bottom. She gon' put the house up if she hit it, the feds got her. And that's why I spoil her trips to the islands. Gucci flip flops, Marc Jacob Land styling. She the type of woman that I need by my side in a Lux coupe. Shorty is the G to my ride, L to the word lady, like she know what that Mercedes like. What you see is what you get. You know I live a crazy life. Young dude couldn't really tell you what the 80s like, but I make her feel good. See what be in my baby life. Prepare to see your name and lights, and any wrong doing been done, I make it right.
Yeah. Career crooks.
My whole life I've been looking for the right one, and I could swear that I never was gonna find one. And then you came around and you put it down, and that's when I knew that girl has been found. Cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you.
Even though I know I like them all, I know I can't wipe them all. So baby, make a move. It's harder for me to fight them off. Groupies blowing kisses, it's nothing for me to wipe them off. Get comfy in that designer love. I'm getting shine, get money, and then I'm signing off. I mean, I'm logging off, so then we signing in. And when the road to riches end, that's where I come in. Then we clear in the lair, that mean we flying in. See, when you adding paper, that mean you adding haters. Show you how to minus them. I let the dice roll, you know I know how to win. Slizzy getting busy on my grizzly like I'm Iverson. I got him diving in with no swimwear and the water warm. You can tell she ain't been there. Stamps in her passport. If you know what to spend it on, it you ain't gotta ask for.
My whole life I've been looking for the right one, and I could swear that I never was gonna find one. And then you came around and you put it down, and that's when I knew that girl has been found. Cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, 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 cause baby, it's you, 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 yeah, baby, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's
Yeah, that's my ride or die. She rockin' with a G, so you know she stay fly like Gucci, Chanel. I keep her in red bottom. She gon' put the house up if she hit the feds, girl. And that's why I spoil her.